I'm an Uber driver. I make no money. One day last week, I went home with $3.72 after I put the gas on the car.
You're hoping that an angel will come and Tinkerbell will come and fill the tank.
Yeah.
Because the guy we got in...
Justin Trudeau and the Liberals are absolutely desperate. They're trying anything they can to get popularity, whether that's copying the Democrats in America or their latest plan here. It's a housing plan. It's a pathetic, desperate attempt to win over the public, and it's not going to work. So let's talk about it. Let's jump into this. First up, we've got Justin Trudeau's housing minister, Sean Fraser. This bonehead doesn't know anything about housing. He already ruined the immigration system in Canada. Then he was put in charge of housing, and that's what he's currently destroying. And their plan is to take a bunch of federal land. We have a ton of it in Canada, and lease it out, create housing and lease it out to people. People don't need to own houses around here. They just want to lease it out.
We're building homes on federal lands. Although it may not look like it, the property we're standing on right now in Ottawa used to be a military base, CFB Rockcliffe. It played an important role for the RCAF for decades in the 20th century, but over the last number of years, it hasn't been doing much until more recently when the property was made available for housing. Today, this particular community has affordable housing, apartment buildings, single-family homes, transit services, parks, and more. There are thousands of federal properties in every part of this country that aren't doing much right now that could be made available to build more homes for Canadian families. Think about your own community. There may be a military base, an armory, a post office, an office building, or some other piece of federal land that could be made available to build more homes for Canadians. Now, we're launching a new initiative that will build more than 250,000 homes for Canadian families. Today, we're launching the new Public Land Bank, an interactive tool that you can check out to see which federal...
250,000 houses. You guys are bringing in like 1.6 million a year. These guys are an absolute joke. And they wait 9 years to do this before they do anything about housing. And they only did that after Justin Trudeau said that housing wasn't a federal responsibility. Then he got absolutely roasted on that.
Lands are going to be made available for housing next. The first batch of properties includes places like Vancouver, Port Moody, Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, Toronto, Kingston, Windsor, Dartmouth, Cape Breton, and more. If we're going to solve the national housing crisis, we need to do absolutely everything that we can. And by making federal lands available to build housing for Canadian families, we're going to be one step closer to restoring...
This guy's such a bonehead. Okay, enough of this video. So he's done everything possible to destroy the housing in this country. And this whole idea came from Pierre Poilievre. As this first comment says, all your party does is copy Poilievre's ideas. Poilievre has talked about building housing around transit stations for a long time, opening up federal land and building that stuff. And these guys, all they do is just wait about a year and then they copy him. They keep doing this time after time after time. Now, the main difference here is they're planning to lease these homes to you. Lease the land. They're going to build the homes and then lease it. They don't want you to own anything. We got the words coming directly from Captain Schmuck himself.
Here's something we can all agree on. We need more housing in Canada. But that the government should step up and make sure that housing gets built, that's where some people disagree. Take federal lands, land that's owned by the federal government that isn't being used anymore. The Conservative Party leader wants to sell it all off to make a quick buck. That does nothing for you. The federal government owns tons of land in cities and towns.
Exactly. The federal government owns tons of land. Sell off a bunch of that. They build the houses. People buy the houses. That's it. These guys want to lease off the land. You're going to end up with these 99-year leasehold properties, or you're just going to have like co-ops. You're going to be renting places that the government owns. The government will have you by the nads. Whenever they want, they can just pull that lease on you, and then you're screwed. You got to sell the land. You'll get kicked out of your house. They can build a highway right through your house. This is not the solution, man.
Across the country, you could build a lot of homes on those lands. So that's what we're going to do. We're offering up that public land for housing. And we're not just going to sell it all to developers. We're going to long-term lease it. See, by leasing the land, we get to work with communities to make sure that home builders are building the right homes, homes you can afford.
You should be focusing on doing policies that people can afford homes, not building a very select small few amount of homes that are leasehold that you're either renting or buying. They haven't really specified here, but I think 99-year leasehold properties, those are garbage. Nobody wants those. He just said it himself too.
Homes you can afford.
Yeah, homes you can afford.
We've got land, we got lots of houses to build, so that's exactly what we're going to do.
No, you're not doing anything. You're a bonehead. Get out of our government. We don't like you, Trudeau. Like this person said here, so we're doing council housing like England has all over Canada. No more home ownership, just government housing on government land. Being a lease, the government can at any moment ask you to leave. This is the message is indeed insane. And the government should not get involved in private property. This is exactly it. You have those leasehold lands. They can choose to not renew the lease. They can build a new highway through there. If it's on a Liberal's backyard, they can just buy that land up themselves. We don't want you to lease that anymore. I need to extend my backyard. Like, for whatever reason, you don't end up with control of where you live anymore. It's ridiculous. So we've got another video here that goes into more detail on this.
Today's announcement is going to make a very big difference. What we're seeing is the release of federal lands that we believe over the course of this initiative will lead to more than 250,000 homes for Canadians who currently need them. We're also going to make sure that we offer homes at prices that people can actually afford. This is where a new idea comes into play. A large focus of the path forward is going to be not just
Trudeau said it, he just said it, homes that Canadians can actually afford. You guys are the problem. You brought in too many people. That's the problem. There's nowhere to buy. There's nowhere to live. Everything's too expensive. You guys are terrible.
On announcing a national fire sale where we get rid of publicly owned properties to the highest bidder who will build whatever kinds of homes they can manage. But instead, long-term leases of up to 99 years for as little as $1 in exchange for a commitment from builders that they're going to make homes available at prices that low-income families can afford and that middle-class families can afford.
That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
This new approach today, with the Public Land Bank now having been launched, you'll be able to see the first tranche of 56 properties that we are going to be looking to use towards housing. As Minister Duclos mentioned during his remarks, over the next few months, we're going to continually add more properties to this land bank for the public to see and to provide comments as to how they believe these properties can be best used to deliver housing for Canadians.
This guy was a lawyer. He doesn't know anything about housing or immigration. He's just terrible at what he's doing here. He's the worst person ever to have in government in any of these positions. Sean Fraser is the biggest loser in government, aside from Justin Trudeau. Let's not take that away from Captain Schmuck himself.
First step within this parcel of 56 properties is 5 where a request for proposal or expression of interest has launched today. These processes are going to complete by November 1st and October 1st, respectively, so we can get moving as quickly as possible so we know the next steps in the future of these particular pieces of land. We have to do everything that we can, and by putting federal land on the table to reduce the cost of construction at a discounted price in exchange for a commitment that the homes that will actually be built will be offered at a price that ordinary Canadians can actually afford is a major step forward as part of the solution to Canada's strategy to solve the national housing crisis.
No, it's not. This is so dumb. This is unbelievably dumb. There was a comment I showed maybe 3 or 4 days ago where a lady in the comments said, how the Liberals are trying to solve the housing crisis is like having a bathtub that is overflowing with water, and they want to make the bathtub bigger instead of shutting off the water. Turn off the water. There's no more water. No more immigration. Cut it off. We're done. We're too full. These guys lie to us every single day with this. They know full well they have to turn off the immigration to fix this problem. You can't just build an extra 250,000 homes over a couple of years, but still bring in 1.6 million people. I haven't talked about it in a while, but I mean, for anyone who's just kind of getting in on the channel here, the builders of Canada build about 250,000 homes per year. So even if they were to add an extra 250, so that's 500,000, Justin Trudeau has increased the immigration from 250,000 people to 500,000. So all the extra temporary foreign workers, and a lot of them want to convert over to citizenship and foreign students, that's up to 1.5, 1.6 million people. So that puts us in a deficit of over 1 million people per year. And even if some of those people go home, what is a deficit of 700,000, 600,000? Like, it's a huge deficit that puts a strain on our country every single year, every single day. They know this, but they continue to do this. Why they want to cause this extra suffering and pain to Canadians, I don't know. Maybe they're just a bunch of sick, twisted losers. Maybe it's because Justin Trudeau owns a real estate development company and he's gotten rich off of inflating the real estate prices. I don't know. I don't know how much land the guy owns. I don't know if he builds towers. I know he cuts down logs and sells firewood with his real estate development company that he owns with his brother. But aside from that, I don't know. But they did this for a reason.
56 units. I know there's only 5 available right now, plots of land, I should say. When can builders and Canadians expect the rest of them will be available? And cumulatively between those 56, how many units for housing do you think will be created on those lands?
Look at these guys. They're talking about 56 units, 56 housing units. 56 people just landed in Canada looking for new homes like 10 minutes ago. Oh, there's another 50. If we wait another 2 minutes, there's another 50. It's quite literally a jumbo jet filled with 2,000 people lands every 2 hours in Canada looking for homes, looking for places to live. That's the math. Every 2 hours, 2,000 people. Boom, 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 like clockwork.
So a couple of different aspects to your question. The first is the 5 units. They are going through what we call the Federal Lands Initiative process, which is with Simieritsch. That's why Sean's leadership and his team is so important. And they would be available as soon as the call for proposals, the expressions of interest are completed. In the next 9 months, approximately another 10 of these units should be ready for the same type of process, and the remaining in the next 2 to 3 years maximum. That is the current state of affairs. But
we got 10 more houses coming in later in the year, guys. Everyone just pencil that in. We'll write that down. Who's going to get the 10 units?
Important reasons for which we are opening up the federal government by showing the type of surplus land inventory that we've got is to expedite the process. So by connecting to municipalities, municipal leaders, to...
Okay, so Count Dracula here is just going to keep going on and on and on. We're going to take your money, then we're going to suck your blood. This guy has nothing else to say. I've already listened to this whole thing before.
Change their zoning.
If you look in the comments here on YouTube, there's a bunch of people talking about leased. Nobody likes the idea of leasing. You don't get to own it. There's no ownership in leased land. Someone's always got control over you, and it's the government. It's been proven that the government is not trustworthy based on how they've acted here in the last 9 years, just ruining our country. Why would you want leasehold land? Speaking of the Liberal government being failures, we've got this one here. Labour Minister Stephen McKinnon basically admits the only reason why the Liberals forced back to work legislation on the rail workers is because the US government told him to.
Well, let's not pretend that the U.S. government doesn't also face the same kinds of circumstances. Look, we've had over a decade of low inflation, low interest rates, and workers in Canada and in the United States are looking for raises. And if we want to have a high-wage economy, and we very much do want to have a high-wage economy, we are going to have tensions at bargaining tables across all sectors. That is also true in the United States. So my discussions with my American counterpart and others in the U.S. was really more about comparing notes. On confronting the very phenomenon that I just described.
No pressure to get them back to work.
Well, they
A phenomenon. Come on, man.
understand very well, of course, that we have substantially the same system of collective bargaining that they do, and we honor the rights of unions in that process. And we were comparing notes. Of course, we are tied literally and spiritually to our Mexican and to our American friends when it comes to commerce. And that is a reality. That is a daily reality. That's how...
There, you heard it from the Liberals here. We're tied spiritually to Mexico and the United States regarding commerce. What is he even saying? Like, these guys have lost their marbles.
A lot of Canadians earn their paychecks. So, of course, we're going to be coordinating and comparing notes and trading lessons on how to deal with these things. No, I didn't say pressure. I said...
So you're saying yes?
No, I'm saying that we were comparing notes.
But they
Look at this greasy smile. He's such a liar.
Well, of course, and I call them too when we think that there may be bottlenecks or issues on their side. Again, let's not pretend that the U.S. and Mexico, for that matter, don't have labor conflicts and issues that they need solving, and logistical issues, supply chain issues that we all need to work on. Me, my counterparts in the U.S., my colleagues in cabinet in their various sectors. So it's a very collaborative, cooperative, and supportive relationship, and it's one that I'm glad I was able to rely on.
Oh, yeah, he basically got called out by America. They just said, get those guys back to work. That's 100% what happened. It's funny that the reporter called him on it. So next up, we've got this. It's very interesting. It says public service announcement. Go to your internet browser and type in antifa.com. Come back and tell me what you see. So I'll show you guys. You don't have to do this yourself, but someone's got it posted right here. That's what you get when you click on, or you type in antifa.com. You get whitehouse.gov. So I have no idea what this is about. I don't know why they're linking to that, but it's pretty funny. We got this here. It says 2 MPs said Trudeau is already trying to match the Democrats. Message of joy and optimism pointing to news conferences this month where Trudeau spoke about the Olympics and Canadian pride. We click on the article, take a look at it here. So down in this article here, it says Liberals draw inspiration from surging Democrats. Some MPs said Liberals are also looking south of the border for inspiration, but one Liberal MP pointed out that the Democrats have only held the presidency for 4 years, while Trudeau's government has been in power for much longer. There's fatigue that's not cured with a smile, the MP told CBC News. It's not going to work. Another Liberal MP said that while Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris is channeling the sunny ways message that helped Trudeau bring to power in 2015, that approach no longer resonating for the Prime Minister. Many Liberal MPs have said it's critical for the cabinet to embrace improvements in communication strategy. Basically, I mean, they hired that super expensive communications guy and he's done nothing for them. He's an absolute loser too, and a high-paid loser that we're paying for. Liberal MP Nate Erskine Smith said he wants the party to run ads to educate Canadians about Poilievre's track record. You guys can't do anything. We want common sense in this country. You guys are destroying our country. We want Pierre Poilievre because he's going to bring that back. That's basically it. I don't know what they don't understand about ruining our lives, making things expensive, bringing in too many people they don't understand. Once again, I point back to Justin Trudeau's real estate development company. How many acres of land? How many units? Does he build units? I don't know. How much is it worth? How much has it gone up since he's jacked the immigration? I don't know. I'm guessing a lot. I'm guessing a ton. Speaking of Pierre Poilievre, we got a clip here of him going around door knocking, actually door knocking, unlike Justin Trudeau and Liberals who pretend to door knock.
Hi, guys. Good to see you.
Yes.
Give me a hug, sweetheart. Good to see you. Thank you so much. What's your name?
Lisette.
Lisette?
Yes,
Good
it's
to
my
meet
name.
you, Lisette.
Yes,
How are
thank
you?
you.
Good to see you.
Oh my God. We're Venezuelans.
Hey, excellent.
We're from Venezuela.
My wife.
Yeah,
we know that.
Of course, we follow you.
She's a gocha.
It's Gocha.
Gocha.
We're
Gocha.
from Maracaibo and Viva from
Caracas. Yeah,
Caracas. My wife was born in Caracas, but she's from Táchira.
Poilievre's looking jacked here. I'm just going to say he's been hitting the gym. He's got his diet on point. I mean, that's what we want. We want a leader who's not only got his mind, but his body on track. That's what we want here in Canada.
Near close by to Colombia.
Oh my God, I can't believe this.
Yes.
I'm so
Nice,
excited.
eh? Very exciting. But it's great to have you on side. We have Fred here. Fred Davies, your future member of Parliament.
Okay, nice to meet you.
How are you?
And later on the video here, we've got another interaction.
Kathleen.
I'm here offering valet service.
Oh yeah? Well, I do that all day long. I'm an Uber driver. I make no money. And what are we going to do about that?
No, tax the tax.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Tax the tax.
Nice to leave that with you, Tom.
Balance
Looks like
the
we've got on
budget,
your
bring
support.
down
Okay.
the inflation and the interest rates.
Right.
You know?
One day last week, I went home with $3.72 after I put the gas in the car.
Really?
So she's an Uber driver, if you didn't hear that.
After all
Really?
that driving.
And I drove to Fort Erie, I drove to Grimsby that day, and that's what I made. And I ate ramen noodles for dinner.
Oh,
Wow.
For real, and I
It's a
told them.
disaster. And your tank is perpetually empty.
Yes.
You're hoping that look at
This is
this.
the problem.
Look at this. So you're hoping that an angel will come and
Oh,
fill the
Tinkerbell,
tank.
you know.
Tinkerbell will come and fill the tank.
Yeah.
Because the guy we got in as prime minister right now is emptying the tank.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
kidding.
What a disaster, right?
I can't believe it. I gotta do it again. I
Good
can't
to
believe
see
you're
you.
here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Tom.
Tom. What do you do, Tom?
I work inside sales for Carrier Heating there.
For 29 years
Yeah.
at the same job. He's not telling you that.
How's the economy doing locally?
Seems slow. Everything's slow.
Okay.
Summer's our busy time, and this year it's just.
Really? Worse than last year?
Last year was bad too.
Yeah. But it's been a bad go for a long time. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But better days are coming. This is Fred Davies. Davies is going to be your
Hi,
future
nice to meet you.
MP.
Right.
And
Yes.
he'll be hopefully serving the people of Welland and Parliament. So,
Okay. Got it.
Wonderful.
okay.
So, thank you for your support
Yes.
during the
definitely.
campaign. Can we give you a lawn sign?
Well, it's not my house. He lives here.
come on.
I'm the visitor.
What do you think, Tom?
Okay.
It'll be a real handsome one.
Can I get a picture with
Of
you? No one's going to
course.
believe this.
I'd
No
be
one is
honored
going to
to have
believe
a
this.
picture with you. Of course I would.
Imagine Trudeau lowering himself to speak to ordinary Canadians. I feel so proud when I see Pierre do this. When I see Trudeau put on his fake show, I want a gig. Pierre looking all jacked. Yes, this guy's saying it too. Okay, what you're about to see is ridiculous. So in the UK, that country's fallen. They've let in just the worst of the worst. They're taking over their streets, all this stuff. What we're seeing here is probably going to be one of the most ridiculous videos seen in UK history in recent times. We have a cop on a bike chasing a guy here.
What the?
Like, what is this? Well, why is this bike so small? Like that. What is going on here? It looks like he has a kid's bike. Policing in the UK is essentially daycare. Unless it's European committing a crime, then it becomes Delta Force real quick. Next up, we got this here. It says Prime Minister to hold cabinet retreat and move forward to deliver fairness for every generation. That's right, they're going to have another cabinet retreat, you know, where they fly off to some location and stay in fancy hotels for a couple of days. They spend like $200,000 or $300,000 of our money doing nothing, just having fancy meals. That's what they're going to do here. From August 25th to August 27th, so it's going on right now. It's basically almost over. The retreat will focus on the federal government's work to strengthen the middle class, grow the economy, and deliver fairness. For every generation. Basically, they're delivering fairness for themselves, and that's it. Jumping over to my group, let's see what memes we've got today. First Prime Minister convicted of ethics violations, not once, but 4 times. 2 scandals that he should be removed and put in jail for, yet people still vote for him. Yes, folks, the stupid is plenty in Canada. Vote him out and save Canada. Be a smart voter. How I sleep every night knowing Canadians will fire that POS in October. Lights, camera, fiction. Yeah, mainstream media. Might as well put a CBC logo here. Say that stupid thing again. Men can get pregnant. Justin Trudeau looking for Canadians who don't think he's a joke. Yeah. Where are they? I don't know. You can check Nova Scotia. There's a couple of them there. Based on that last event I had maybe like 2 videos ago. When you lock out rail employees and realize you're going to need truckers. So here we are, another day, another failed policy. We've got Sean Fraser doing his thing again, building these co-op housing or leased properties, 99-year lease properties. Nobody wants that. People want to actually strive for home ownership, but not live in a situation where you own a home and you work hard, landscape the yard, put in fruit trees, add additions to your house, put in a new kitchen, and then one day the government says, nah, we're going to not let you renew that, and we're just going to put a new highway through here. This is not what Canada should be. They should be focusing on policies and moves that will bring the housing prices down, make things more affordable. That's not what they want. If anyone knows how much land Justin Trudeau owns in his real estate development company, I would love to know. This is not information I can get. Does he have 10 acres? Does he have 10,000 acres? I don't know. Does he build condo towers? I don't know. But these are questions every Canadian has the right to know.